This is Sean Ruddy coming to you live from Death Manor.
So I recently watched two movies with really great premises. Both found footage as well, even though the second movie is more of a mockumentary. But let's start with the more recent one, Deadstream. This is the kind of movie I would like to see from Shudder, and it is quite a bit better than Kids vs Aliens, which I watched also recently. Deadstream is a movie about a streamer, Sean, who just killed his career. What exactly he did we will learn over the course of the movie, but after the obligatory apology video and some time to get uncancelled, he returns to streaming, as he finally got some new sponsors. This guy's gimmick as a streamer is also rather interesting. He's scared of everything and tries to fight his fears. And for his comeback he wants to return with a bang. He spends a whole night at a haunted house. Soon after he arrives, he meets a girl, a fan, he assumes, and spends some time with her. But soon demons appear and make Sean's night a living hell. What follows are attacks by a nasty demon poking Sean's nose repeatedly. Sean of course fights back, but mostly he does shriek. And being a miserable, pathetic YouTuber who does anything for money and views. Maybe I should spend a night at a haunted house. I'm actually not sure what I should think of the main character's performance. While he actually does feel like someone who could be an annoying influencer and is therefore pretty authentic, you still have to spend about 90 minutes with him, which is a bit taxing. The constant screeching and shrieking is also quite annoying when hearing it for a while. Some of the references to, let's call it YouTube lingo, is also sometimes a bit cringy. Explaining demonetization and then explaining that he will do something like that to the demon in detail was just odd and felt out of place. Overall, the movie is well done though. Of course they didn't have the biggest budget, but they did the most out of it. And with that premise you also don't need a big budget necessarily. The idea is great, and while the comedy doesn't always land, it hits the mark more often than it doesn't. There are some nice effects, it's not too long, and the demons are clearly inspired by the Evil Dead, which is nice. It's not as crazy though as the Evil Dead can get, and it's not as gory. Not quite as funny, and you definitely don't care for Sean as much as you do for Ash.
Groovy.
But this doesn't make Deadstream a bad movie per se. It's mostly one location and fighting one demon. It's filled with some jokes and overall light-hearted fun. And maybe Sean will be more interesting and most of all more likable if there will be a sequel with him. Overall, Deadstream was a good watch, but not a great one. It's nice to see it around Halloween time, I would say, but don't expect to be blown away. It's fine, and I will give it a 7 out of 10. Off to the next one, and it's kind of a classic, or at least a cult film indeed. A proven cult film indeed. The 1992 British TV movie Ghostwatch. A movie shown as part of the anthology series Screen 1, which shows TV movies of different genres. I'm not really familiar with the series, and Ghostwatch is the only movie of the series I know. But thanks to some YouTube reviews, this film piqued my interest. And now that I'm also making a video review of this, I might interest someone else into seeing this movie. Ghostwatch is also a great idea. shot like a live TV show, and it's about a family being haunted by a poltergeist. This TV movie does a pretty good job in pretending to be quite the real thing, up to a certain point. Unfortunately, I did watch it as a used DVD with a broken case on my region-free DVD player instead of seeing it on TV. Instead of seeing it as a TV program, somewhere at night, just stumbling over it. But I guess something like that won't happen anymore. I mean, I don't watch regular TV nowadays anyways. And Ghostwatch was aired before I was born, so I can't have the feeling of someone watching it in the early 90s on TV and being skeptical if this was real or not. But is it still worth a watch? Well, as I said, it does a good job in pretending to be a live show, including an annoying host near the scene of the haunting, some experts and some other hosts in the studio and in the house that is haunted, some of them seemingly being actual news hosts, which also unfortunately didn't do that much for me because I have never seen one of these hosts and don't watch British TV. But they do feel like news hosts and do mostly a good job. The annoying host was a bit too much though, in my opinion. There is a paranormal expert who seems at times desperate to believe in the supernatural. The family is also feeling rather real. The mother is a bit creepy though, but the kids do a good job. The whole movie is inspired by the Enfield haunting, which also influenced The Conjuring 2, but I would argue that this movie here is closer to the real story than The Conjuring, and feels more real. At least the house doesn't explode here. Having a movie pretend to be a TV show can be a problem though. While it feels like a TV show, it's also as boring as a TV show at times. It's not terrible, but it's also not exactly exciting to watch for about an hour. But once the twists are coming, it doesn't stop. Is the whole thing a hoax like the real Enfield haunting, which was just two kids pretending to be haunted by a poltergeist and making photos while mid-jump, and just talking with a deep voice while smiling?
600 the voices.
I know the joke.
Many really are though, Margaret.
I think so far we've had 10.
Great.
Or is this the real thing? After all, Mr. Pipes could be haunting them from their father's built-in closet, which is called the Glory Hole. Wait, what? Is this for real?
I have to get this done properly. My ex-husband, used to develop his own photos in a dark room under the stairs. The glory holes, we used to call it when I was a kid.
Wait, what? Oh, they did it on purpose. They couldn't have called the scariest room in which a guy works in a closet the Glory Hole. They couldn't be that naive. The last third did elevate the whole movie though, and I did like it even though it gets a bit cheesy and schlocky. It's still pretty cool even though they go a bit over the top with the end. Still way more grounded than any movie in the Conjuring franchise, even though some of the Conjuring movies might be more entertaining. And I will give Ghostwatch also a 7 out of 10. And with that you might have 2 decent movies to watch this Halloween, if you are into found footage or mockumentaries. One funny, the other one a bit more grounded, but both quite special and having a great idea. See you in the next one.
Round and round the garden like a teddy bear.
Get ready for the story.